Shalom, shalom and welcome. This is Man's Final Steps, a continuing series to those who would be of the 144,000 and multitude mentioned in Revelation 7th and 14th chapter. Today is December 20th, 2013. My name is Symmanayah, and in this segment of the series, Man's Final Steps, it is entitled Criticism of the Obedient. My brothers and sisters, allow me to state my position regarding this matter. Let's take a look at something. If someone was to take another person's prescription or remedy, this could be fatal or cause illness unless your conditions are exactly the same. So it is when we try to place our chosen scriptures onto another in expectations of correcting them without being led by the Spirit of Yahushua. The conditions must be conducive or fit the needed solution. Otherwise, if taken out of context, out of place, we could cause more harm than good to a brother or sister. Let us be mindful before we are quick to try to push our convictions on another. I have witnessed many quote unquote self-righteous spiritual pharmacists, so to speak, prescribing scriptures complete with their perspective, with their perceived remedy and convictions for correcting another, only to consume time and be used by the wicked one to distract one from what is actually righteous. The conviction of one may be different with another. The conviction one may get regarding a behavior and its timing will on many occasions differ with one another. I have witnessed so many brothers and sisters who think they have mastered scriptures void of yielding to the Spirit of Yahushua, making these scriptures alive, void of paying attention to precise timing, but instead they throw scriptures at one another recklessly. When people do not get what they're trying to say or push on you, or when people wrestle against their methods of prescribing remedies and or solutions regarding their convictions on another, I have witnessed these individuals get upset and display criticism of the obedient. In other words, these self-appointed, self-righteous spiritual pharmacists, so to speak, they start criticizing you because you fail to yield to them versus being obedient to the Spirit of Yahushua. I've witnessed even mores and teachers who will present criticism of the obedient as an escape to ignore that there are those who are walking in obedience as they are guided, as they are convicted. Instead, mores, teachers, leaders, and people will sometimes try to criticize someone for being obedient. Time is a proving substance, and with each passing moment, our proof and perfection, as well as refinement, will become visible. Each of us will come to know what our convictions are, because in our convictions, we are guided into the refinement process that has been designed for us. All too often, I have witnessed one person get orders from the Spirit of Yahushua, convictions, directions, and guidance, but for some reason, I see them not wanting to go it alone, so to speak. So in other words, one person gets convictions, guidance, direction from the Spirit of Yahushua, but they don't want to be alone. So they want to push their convictions on others. So they'll have others walking with them and in their shoes. In other words, they attempt to push their convictions on others, void of realizing just maybe the refining process for their buddy or friend is different and might require something else. The emergence of the 144,000 and multitude that will come out of the Great Tribulation will demand and produce a refined group where each person will be in their assigned positions. Remember, we are one body, but many members with different functions, as it is written. Romans 12:4 reads, "For as we have many members in one body, but all members do not have the same function." My brothers and sisters, I urge each one of us to realize criticism of the obedient is dangerous, for it is a display of wickedness and will be met with reproof, discipline, judgment, and if necessary, wrath. Be careful, be very careful, for any and every situation which causes one to lose focus can be judged as an obstacle. And remember, obstacles get removed one way or another. Let us move forward and take a look at just a few scriptures regarding obedience. Exodus 15:26 reads, "And he said, if you diligently obey the voice of Yahuwah, your Elohim, and do what is right in his eyes, and shall listen to his commands, and shall guard all his laws, I shall bring on you none of the diseases I brought on the Mitzrites," or Egyptians, as some we know it, "for I am Yahuwah who heals you." Jeremiah 7:23 reads, "But this word I did command them, saying, obey my voice, and I shall be your Elohim, and you be my people, and walk in all the ways that I have commanded you, so that it be well with you." That was Jeremiah 7:23. Romans 6:16 reads, "Do you not know to whom you present yourselves servants for obedience? You are servants of the one whom you obey, whether of sin to death or of obedience to righteousness." That was Romans 6:16. 1 Peter 4:17 said, "Because it is time for judgment to begin from the house of Elohim, and if firstly from us, what is the end of those who do not obey the good news of Elohim?" That was 1 Peter 4:17. John 4:24 reads, "Elohim is spirit, and those who worship him need to worship in spirit and in truth." My brothers and sisters, each of us will be held accountable for what we do in these earthen vessels known as our body. While many of us take this very serious, there are times when people forget who is ultimately responsible for whom. I have witnessed many individuals become excited by what they perceive to be the truth and make every attempt to persuade others to accept their views and or interpretations. Those who push scriptures in or attempt to shove their interpretations at you all too often will take a position of criticism of the obedient. In other words, if you're being obedient to the spirit of Yahushua and not listening to him, but they'll start criticizing you. It will be wise as we grow through our refining process to pray to discern behaviors which are quick to reflect criticism of the obedient. Just because conversations doesn't go our way does not mean the listener or listeners are off all the time. We will come to refrain from being quick to criticize those who are obedient to their convictions. In due season, we will rise beyond any doubt as to whether or not a person is actually being obedient or not. Our convictions will vary from one person to the next because our individual calling and tasks given to us individually will differ. Our convictions will vary, my brothers and sisters. Let us not despise one who follows their true convictions. It is possible to discern and understand the convictions of another, but be very careful in how this discovery is managed. The 144,000 in multitude is being refined and perfected. Yes, we will become visible in order that we may witness scriptures being fulfilled. It will help in reducing the number of times. In this refining process, I strongly encourage us to come to grips with the true meaning of discernment, for it will help us in reducing the number of times we are mistaken in our criticism of those who are obedient. Continue to press forward, my brothers and sisters. The plan is indeed complex, but it is truly, we have reached man's final steps. Until next time, be alert. Wake up from the slumber. Let our eyes and ears be open and clear. Let us come to know what the Spirit of Yahushua is guiding us and instructing us to do. Let us come to discover what must be done. Until next time, my brothers, my sisters, my family, stay tuned as the series continue. Shalom, shalom, shalom.